I definitely come down on the spiritual side. I think very few things in life happen by chance. It is a very frustrating thing to be the face of a creative project and yet essentially have zero creative control over that project. Essentially, you're a pawn in the system. I never developed hard cartilage in my ears because I played with them since I was a baby. I can fold my ear entirely inside out, and I can put the whole thing inside itself. I think that being isolated from the Hollywood world of premieres and red carpet events was probably good for me because I could ease into those at will and by my own choice. But in other aspects, when it comes to fanfare, Hawaii is nuts, and in LA they're also jaded. They don't care. I consider acting a day job. It's not my dream, it's not my be-all, end-all. We're not going to protect the earth the way we need to protect it if we don't stop making so many babies. I'm very picky when it comes to men. I come across a man who I'm really attracted to about once every 5 years. Even if you're unhappy, just pretend that you're happy. Eventually, your smile will be contagious to yourself. I had to learn that. I used to think, I'm being fake, but you know what? Better to be fake and happy than real and miserable. My family didn't have a lot of money, and I'm grateful for that. Money is the longest route to happiness. I would love to pretend I don't diet, but I work very hard. I stay active and eat very healthy. Anybody who says otherwise is either unhealthy or lying. I will admit that I'm addicted to sugar, licorice, jujubes, and jelly candies. And I actually love bran muffins. In my world, I don't believe in forever promises. I don't think it's realistic. A month and a half after my first audition, I won the role on Lost. When I hear the words women should be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen, I think, what? A dream. There are no negative connotations to it. The creative project is a moving target. You never end up where you start. I love being outside, that's where I'm the happiest. I think women in Hollywood who don't do Botox and plastic surgery are revered. I revere them. My plan is to never go there. I'm too vain to get plastic surgery because I don't like how it looks, and I want to look my best. Every woman is after a kind of classy image. I didn't grow up in a home that glorified Hollywood. We didn't watch TV. We didn't have a lot of magazines around. Your mind and soul are the kings of your physique way more than any exercise you do. I am 5'6", I am built of muscle and bone, and that is not very good for fashion, but it's who I am. Women who look good in fashion are 6 foot tall, don't have an ounce of muscle, and their legs are the size of my arm. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of being an elf. I just like short hair on women, I think it's cool. I am an opportunist. When opportunities come, and I see them serving my grander goals in life, I take them. I'm a pretty skeptical person, and I'm a realistic person. I'm a very stubborn woman and I'm from a very stubborn family of headstrong women. I have sisters, so the women rule the coop in my house. To put it simply, a lot of people believe that the benefit of this job is fame and fortune. I believe that you pay for the fortune through the fame. I don't buy into the notion that being famous is somehow a good thing, or an exciting thing, or a wonderful thing. I think I'm not always what I seem. Most people, when they get to know me, say, when I first met you. People initially think I'm a snob because I'm intensely private. The people on my mom's side of the family are atheist intellectuals who are 𝐬𝐵 proper. My dad's side of the family are missionaries who are more comfortable sitting around in sweatpants than they are in a 5-star restaurant. But those two influences converged in my life. I haven't sat down and memorized the language of Elvish, and anyone who does that is crazy. I always wear something slightly masculine. Acting is something I appreciate, and I think it's been an amazing experience. But I'm not passionate about acting the way you probably should be to call yourself an actor. That's what happens in Hollywood. People are like, I want to hate you because everyone else seems to love you. But the reality is this, I'm a simple person who's not interested in attention and who just wants to go about her business. My heart is in helping people and in the less materialistic side of things, but there's the side of me that's more polished. I was fortunate enough to be one of those stories where I was scouted on the street by somebody and actually refused to go to the agency, and was approached on different occasions and finally kind of caved and said, okay, I'll try it and see what happens. Life is all about embracing each moment that is given to you. I am a classy dame. I was a massive Tolkien fan. The Hobbit was my favorite book as a little girl, and the Sylvan Elves were my favorite characters in the book. I'm good at looking good with weapons and stunts. But if you put a bullseye in front of me and asked me to hit it, I'd say the chances of me hitting it are about 1 in a million. Everyone thinks they can cure stress by adding to their schedule, like going to yoga. Oh, great, one more thing to feel guilty about when you can't do it. Wonder Woman was my favorite superhero as a little girl. I still have a huge girl crush on Wonder Woman. I think she's amazing. If you can't sit in a cafe quietly and be ignored, how can you observe human nature and write a story? I'm very proud of being a woman, and as a woman, I don't even like the word feminism because when I hear that word, I associate it with women trying to pretend to be men, and I'm not interested in trying to pretend to be a man. I don't want to embrace manhood, I want to embrace my womanhood. I was a good student, I was good at soccer, I was vice president of the student council, I was a pretty girl. I love to dance. Don't get me started, because you will never get me to stop. When I got the job on Lost, I was a broke university student living in the crappiest part of town, with a duct-taped back window on a broken-down car. I existed on peanut butter and tea. I have battled clinical depression and have come out of the other side. I've been free of it for many years now. Finding the place in my own mind and heart to win that battle without using medication, finding the place within myself where I could be alive again. That was one of the biggest challenges I've faced. I got the script for Real Steel. I started reading and saw that it was about robot boxing, and I was immediately turned off. It's not my thing. But I continued on, and by the time I got to the end of the script, I had chicken skin and tears in my eyes. I thought, man, we don't make movies like this anymore. I used to cry myself to sleep wishing I was ugly because of the way men leered at and disrespected me. There are jobs to be created on both sides of the climate argument. Whether we are investing in oil or sun, coal or wind, gas or algae, the economy will be stimulated by the investment. The economy, unlike each of us, is not swayed by ideology. If Americans could choose, would they choose to work on the infrastructure for cancer-causing oil power or would they choose to work on the infrastructure for health-reviving wind power?